When the FIFA World Cup draw was announced, almost nobody was talking about Cape Verde. Most fans were focused on giants like Spain and Uruguay. After all, Cape Verde is a tiny island nation with a population of just over 500,000 people. To put that into perspective, many football stadiums around the world can hold nearly 10% of the country's entire population. But then something incredible happened. Cape Verde stepped onto the world's biggest stage and stunned football fans everywhere by earning a result against Uruguay, one of football's most historic nations. So how did a small island country in the Atlantic Ocean reach the World Cup? And why are they becoming one of football's most inspiring stories? Let's find out. Cape Verde, officially known as the Republic of Cabo Verde, is located off the west coast of Africa. The country consists of 10 volcanic islands surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. For decades, football fans barely knew anything about Cape Verde's national team. Unlike Brazil, Argentina, Germany, or Uruguay, Cape Verde has never had a long World Cup tradition. In fact, for most of its football history, simply qualifying for major tournaments seemed almost impossible. Yet today, they are competing with some of the world's best teams. Cape Verde gained independence in 1975. Like many smaller football nations, they faced enormous challenges: limited resources, small player pools, few professional facilities, and almost no international recognition. For years, the national team remained largely unnoticed. They were often considered outsiders whenever qualification campaigns began. But beneath the surface, something was changing. One of Cape Verde's greatest strengths comes from its global diaspora. Over the decades, many Cape Verdean families settled in countries such as Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. As a result, a new generation of footballers began developing in some of Europe's strongest football systems. These players maintained strong connections to their Cape Verdean heritage. When given the opportunity to represent Cape Verde, many proudly accepted. Suddenly, a small island nation had access to players trained in elite European academies. The quality of the national team began improving dramatically. Cape Verde slowly transformed from an underdog into a respected African football nation. They started qualifying for major African tournaments. They produced impressive performances against countries with far greater football histories. Every qualification campaign increased their confidence. Every tournament appearance gave them valuable experience. Football fans across Africa began paying attention. The world started noticing that Cape Verde was no longer just participating. They were competing. The expansion of the FIFA World Cup from 32 teams to 48 teams created new opportunities for emerging nations. For Cape Verde, it was the perfect moment. The team combined organization, discipline, and tactical intelligence. They fought through qualification matches against stronger and more established opponents. Many experts expected them to fall short. Instead, they continued proving people wrong. Match after match, round after round, until they achieved something that once seemed impossible: a place at the FIFA World Cup. For a nation of roughly 500,000 people, it was one of the greatest achievements in their sporting history. Then came the moment that captured global attention. Uruguay entered the tournament with enormous expectations. They are two-time World Cup champions. They have produced legends such as Diego Forlán, Luis Suárez, and Edinson Cavani. Most predictions expected Uruguay to comfortably handle Cape Verde. But football rarely follows predictions. Cape Verde played without fear. They stayed organized. They defended with discipline. And when opportunities appeared, they attacked with confidence. The result shocked fans around the world. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know more about this tiny island nation. The story of Cape Verde represents something bigger than football. It proves that success is not determined by population size. It is not determined by geography. And it is not determined by history alone. Modern football rewards organization, talent development, belief, and teamwork. Cape Verde has become a perfect example of that reality. For smaller nations everywhere, their journey sends a powerful message. Dreams that once seemed impossible can become reality. Here are a few fascinating facts about Cape Verde. The country's population is smaller than many major cities around the world. It consists of 10 volcanic islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Many of its international players developed in European football academies. And despite being one of the smallest countries at the World Cup, Cape Verde has become one of the tournament's biggest stories. Every World Cup creates new heroes. Every World Cup introduces fans to nations they previously overlooked. In 2026, Cape Verde may be that story. From a small island nation in the Atlantic Ocean to competing against football giants on the world's biggest stage. Their rise has been remarkable. And whether their journey ends tomorrow or continues deep into the tournament, they have already achieved something unforgettable. They have shown the world that in football, anything is possible. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more FIFA World Cup 2026 stories. And tell us in the comments, could Cape Verde become the biggest underdog story in World Cup history?